quite sizable families back home. And so it's going to have a huge knock-on effect.
There are more than 2,500 migrant workers here and another 1,000 in nearby camps, but that's what they know. It's estimated that the figure is much higher, perhaps by 3 or 4 times. Many workers, especially those from Africa, feel frightened.
Some of us, we are surviving. Some of us, we are dead now. Right now, we are looking for the solution.
That solution is being provided by international organisations now arriving in Benghazi. Most in this camp will be repatriated in the coming days or weeks, but there are still pockets of Indians, Filipinos and Africans unaccounted for. And for now, there is nothing to do but wait and hope the violence doesn't return. Tony Bertley, AlJazeera, Benghazi.
Now, one of Gaddafi's sons, Saif al-Islam, has been the public face of the regime since the unrest began. He's accused the international media, including AlJazeera, of blowing the crisis out of proportion. In an interview with Anita McNaught, he repeated the allegation, claiming the West was trying to take over Libya's oil.
We have money in Switzerland. It's a joke. Please, come on. We are not kids. Stop fooling us. We have no money outside. You know, they failed. Come on.
That's just one. That's just one.
Give me
of the problem.
A single evidence that show me my our bank accounts. Show me. Second,
the bank
show
accounts.
me that. No. Show
but
me
that's the least of your problems. Your diplomatic immunity has been taken away. You can't even travel
listen,
like you used to.
The West, we know them very well. When you are strong, you know, they run after you. They are like, you know, they're like cats. If you are weak, they want to be like tigers. We know this game. We tried them for a long time. We know them for a long time. The West, the Americans, the NATO. Come on, we don't pay attention to them. Please, come on. We know the organized media campaign against Libya. We know this very well. This country will survive. I know they want to split the country. They want to destroy it. They want to control its assets. It's a very rich country, small population. This will not happen. So we tell those people, be happy. This will never ever happen because the Libyan people are so united. And please, wait for surprises.
And you can watch Anita McNaught's full interview with Saif Gaddafi at 15:30 GMT on Friday. That's in just over 5 hours from now. Well, for more on the situation in Libya, let's cross live to AlJazeera's Hoda Abdelhamid. She joins us from the city of Benghazi. Hoda, bring us up to date with the latest from Benghazi. What are we expecting to happen there today?
Well, today's dubbed the day of rage and defiance. The Friday prayers are supposed to start in about half an hour, and after that protesters are vowing to take to the streets just to make sure their message is heard, that there will be no dialogue until the fall of the regime and Gaddafi basically and his family step down and even leave the country, if that is the solution. It's also a way of showing support to the rest of the country, to protesters that may be going down to the streets in Tripoli and in other parts of the country where that is still actually under government control. I think here the message is, and they feel that they have a mission to keep the momentum going here, to keep being on the streets, to keep their voices loud, so the rest of the country does feel that there is a support coming from the east of the country.
And Hoda, what more have you been hearing about these latest airstrikes in AlJazeera?
But from what we understand, the strikes were on the outskirts of AlJazeera and didn't really cause any damage or casualties. I mean, airstrikes have been going on for now 3 days around AlJazeera and around Brega. Now, so far, they haven't been targeting, let's say, urban areas or areas where civilians are living. They're mostly around the oil facilities, especially in Brega, even though they didn't touch the oil facilities either. I think it is a way by the government in Tripoli to keep the pressure here. Brega is an oil-rich city. It's a main hub for the oil and gas of this country. And when you see what's happening in Brega and also what's happening in Zawiya, that has also a very important oil refinery, it's quite clear that the government is trying to get that back from the hands of the opposition, especially that the opposition claims that it has taken control of several oil refineries here in the east, in it vows that it will keep on honoring all the contracts it has, but at the moment all these refineries are running at minimum capacity.
And Hoda, events moving thick and fast on the ground. Bring us up to date with the latest on the fighting. Is there now a sense the rebels are trying to push towards Tripoli, and how difficult is that going to be?
Well, that is a very, very difficult mission. There is the will to go to Tripoli and to other parts of the west of the country. I've even heard people mentioning going to Sabha, that's in the south of the country, and that is supposed to be the place from where to which all the allegedly African mercenaries are coming into the country and then dispatched around to join the fight alongside with the Gaddafi loyalists. We have seen many, many volunteers leaving from Benghazi, heading towards Brega and AlJazeera. We have heard about others trying to make their way to Tripoli, but that is going via Sirte. That is going via a very dangerous area where the government has a lot of its most elite forces between the paramilitary forces and the Revolutionary Guards. So that is a very complicated area to reach, a very complicated mission, really. The other choice was to go through the desert. There is a road there that would take about 2 days to reach Tripoli, and then the intelligence the people have here is that actually it will be anyway very difficult to get inside the city and provide some real support to the people inside the city, because all the cities in that area are circled by Gaddafi forces.
All right, Hoda Abdelhamid there in Benghazi. Hoda, thank you very much for the update. Let's talk to our correspondent, Anita McNaught. She joins us on the line from the capital, Tripoli. Anita, what's the atmosphere like in the capital now? Just tell us what you've been seeing there this morning.
Well, the capital is in a state of, I think you could say, semi-lockdown. The internet has been off here for the past 24 hours. It's down at the server. Landlines are on and off. Mobile phones work intermittently. The city itself is extremely quiet. There is almost no one on the streets. All the shops are shut. The one shop we saw this morning when we took a bit of a trip around was a bread shop with a queue outside. There's very little traffic has been on the streets today, and it looks like people are only moving if they absolutely have to.
And what sort of atmosphere is it? I mean, you know, what's it like on, you know, what are people saying to you, Anita?
It's a very subdued city at the moment, I think is the best way of putting it. No one is saying very much at all. No one is speaking out. There certainly have not been this morning any evidence of protests, demonstrations. There is no presence on the street whatsoever. It is a city, in a sense, watching and waiting in every sense of it. There are police checkpoints right through the city, especially near the areas where there have been disturbances in the past. It's a place that is extremely expectant, but what they're expecting is not clear.
All right, Anita McNaught there in Tripoli. Anita, thank you very much indeed. Well, as you heard earlier, Barack Obama has again called on Muammar Gaddafi to step down, but US President wouldn't commit to imposing a no-fly zone and stressed the importance of giving the Libyan people a major say in the uprising.
There are a whole range of options, military and non-military, that we're examining, and we'll be making these decisions based